cold.
Ladies and gentlemen, taking Rick Alexander non-pedal room home for this year is the one and only Billy Robinson.
Thank you. I'd like to, I'm going to do this set a little bit different since I've done 2 sets already. I'm going to do the same set, but I'm just going to do it in different different order. Okay. So I'm going to start out with, Les Paul and Mayor Ford had a tune out called High, High the Moon. And it's one of my favorite songs to play, but I don't normally start off with this because it's a little bit kind of a fast for tunes, especially when your fingers are cold. But let's do that, High, High the Moon, and we'll go from there, okay? Favorite song, Les Paul, he did that, and he recorded it, and what he did, all the guitar players went crazy trying to figure out what he was doing. Well, what he was doing is recording over recording and recording over recordings, and of course his wife was singing and doing all these parts, and it was just 2 people doing the whole thing, and sold millions of records. High, High the Moon. On the Grand Ole Opry, we had a guest every Saturday night, and we had a guest, Floyd Tillman, wrote a song called I Love You So Much It Hurts, and I played that I think 4 times already, but I'd like to do that for you now. Now, I'd like to explain to you, when I play this, there's no way in the world that you can do what I'm going to do without pedals.
It's impossible.
So listen and see what you think. Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. Did you see my feet move in it? You know, on the Grand Ole Opry, I was on the staff at WSM. I started when I was 18 years old, and that was the biggest show in the United States of America at that time. It was the Prince Albert Show. Of course, the Prince Albert Show was sponsored by R.J. Reynolds Smoking Tobacco. Of course, you can't do that these days, which is good. But Red Foley was the star of the show, and every week we have a different guest, as I said, and so we had a guest one night. I say we wanted a guest. He started on the Grand Ole Opry, a guy named George Morgan, and I had the the privilege and the pleasure of recording all his first songs with him. I recorded 8 different songs with him, and his biggest song was a tune called Candy Kisses. And I also recorded that with Red Foley, but it didn't sell very many records, but because he was just trying to, you know, get in on the good part of what George was doing. But George sold several million records, and a lot of people recorded that. And let's do Candy Kisses for him now.
Already?
Candy Kisses.
Am I on here?
Yeah. And me being on the staff at WSM, so, you know, we just normally played with everybody when they first come to the Grand Ole Opry until they would hire their band. You know, they would come in, and Grady Martin was the guitar player, and Ernie Newton, who was the former bass player with Les Paul Trio, and Billy Robinson, who was 18 years old and formerly in the 12th grade. But I was in the 12th grade, and they called me James Petrillo was the head of the International Musicians Union, and they called a strike. And Jerry Byrd, who was playing with Red Foley at that time, and Zeke Turner, and so my pedals are down there causing that buzz. And anyway, I had been copying Jerry Byrd, and I mean, he was my favorite player of all time, and they called me, and I was in the 12th grade, and Zeke Turner called me. It was Zeb Turner called me, Zeke's brother, and said, "Would you like to try out for that show?" And I said, "You got to be kidding." they're not going to hire me. I'm 18 years old. I'm in the 12th grade, and I've never done anything like this before. But I could play like, not like as good as Bird, but I copied him note for note. I mean, I spent, you know how you lift those arms up on the old 78 records? I'd wear out his part. You couldn't even hear it if I'd lift that thing up, that needle down, trying to learn to play it. Well, at any rate, so I tried out for that show, and sure enough, I was there, and Grady Martin, the great guitar player, he was trying out for that show, and of course Ernie Newton, who had played with the Les Paul Trio, you know, and here I was scared to death. Red Foley, we sang the songs that he had recorded, and I played the parts just like Bird. Nobody played as good as Bird, but I tried, and sure enough, they hired me. So I went back to the school principal. I said, they want me to play that show, and he says, son, your school days are over. True story.
Wow.
Anyway, Carl Smith, I recorded 8 songs with Carl Smith, and he told me that the one he got the most requests for was a tune called I Overlooked an Orchid, and I recorded that with him, and I'd like to do that for you now, Mr. Ray.
Okay. Alrighty, and this, can we go up a little on this?
This microphone.
Yep.
This is one where we have to switch the voice a little. We get a little twangy here.
G or G.
It is a flower that blooms so tenderly, the thrill of fairest maiden of the land. When placed beside a blushing rose, the rose could not compare. Oh, but how was such as I to understand? While searching for a rose, the rose that I was searching for was you. Oh, I didn't see the orchid, I'm searching for a rose. The orchid now I find, my dear, was you. Now the rose has lost its color, oh, but the orchid is still the same. And I'm alone to face these bitter years. No, I didn't see the orchid, I was searching for the rose. So now I pay the price with bitter tears. I overlooked an orchid while searching for a rose. The rose that I was searching for was you. The rose that I was searching for turned out to be untrue. The orchid now I find, my dear, was you. The orchid now I find, my dear, was you.
How many times have we done the song for you to mess up the words like that? I'm afraid you're solely our friend Rose out there with the song and messed up the words. You know, I like to tell you, a lot of you folks don't know, but other than playing steel guitar, I'm an artist. And how many How many of you folks out there have ever seen Showbud? Anybody know about Showbud? Anybody Showbud? Any Showbuds out there? Well, you've all seen my artwork. I designed the Showbud logo. A little trivia. Another fellow that came to the Grand Ole Opry in 1949, his name was Hank Williams. And I'm not talking about Junior. We're talking about the senior, Hank Williams. And he came to the Grand Ole Opry and he got, they said 7 encores. But I was there, I only counted 5. But I figured about 10 years it may be up to 20. You know, you never know. Things happen, you know, as time goes on, things happen. In his memory, I'd like to do a song for you. One of my favorites is Cold, Cold Heart.
You wanted to try something we hadn't done.
The what?
You wanted to try something we hadn't done. You were going to do I'm so lonesome I could cry.
Well, we'll do that after this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
This microphone has got a problem. How does that work? I think it needs it. Yeah.
There's a little wheel.
He's got it. Oh, okay. All right, so I'd like to do the Cold, Cold Heart, and then I'd like to also do some other songs that Hank did.
That we've never done before.
Huh?
And
That we've never done those before. Well, I've done them before. All right, but no, we haven't done them together. So okay, we'll do Cold, Cold Heart first. All right, key of D, key of D. Uh-oh, that's wrong.
I've tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Oh, but you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Another love before my time made your heart sad and blue, and so my heart is paying now for things I didn't do. You never know how much it hurts to see you sit and cry. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Mr. Billy Robinson. You'll never know how much it hurts to see you sit and cry. Now you know you need and want my love, but you're afraid to try. Why do you run and hide from life? To try it just ain't smart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Billy Robinson, most outstanding left-hand backer. I don't know why I can't do words tonight. I'm messing up all the lyrics, Billy.
Key of E.
Here's one we've never
No,
done.
all right. This is one we haven't, it sounded like I have never rehearsed that one. I got my finger. Oh, at any rate, we're going
I got
to
the words all
another
backwards,
Hank,
so.
yeah. I'm so lonesome I could cry. All right.
Can you hear that lonesome whippoorwill? He sounds too blue to fly. The midnight train is whining low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Ever see a night so long when time keeps crawling by? Oh, the moon just went behind a cloud to hide his face and cry. Billy Robinson. The silence of the falling star lights up the purple sky. Oh, and as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. Please play that, baby.
In Hank's honor, let's do a few more Hanks, okay?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot to you for singing. You're a good singer. I'll tell you, let's give a hand to this gentleman. Really, really good. Thank you. You know, it makes a lot of difference when you come out and play, and you're going to play steel guitar, and you got somebody that can really, really honor you with good singing, and it makes it easier to play. I'll tell you that right now. Thanks.
What
a
he's
lot,
not
man.
telling you, he's a ventriloquist. He's doing all this.
Hey, good looking.
You know, we're gonna put that, we'll put that second, we're gonna do the first one.
The one I do. Oh, half as much?
Yeah.
Okay. I got that backwards there. That's key of C, all right.
We've
We're
never done
rehearsing
this
up
one.
here now.
Yeah, well, I've never done this one, so if I forget the words on this, I got a good excuse, right?
That's at the key of C, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that other one, yeah. Key of C. Half as much.
If you love me half as much as I love you, you wouldn't worry me half as much as you do. You're nice to me when there's no one else around. You only build me up to let me down. If you love me half as much as I miss you, you wouldn't stay away half as much as you do. I know that I would never be so blue if you only love me half as much as I love you. Billy Robinson. on a spot right over the hill. There's soda pop and dancing is free. Well, if you wanna have fun, come along with me. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? Well, how's about cooking something up with me? Let's pick that one, Billy. All right.
This is arrangements. I just made that last part.
I think we made the whole thing up. It was
Oh,
fun.
man. You know, all right, let's see, what do we got?
Want to do something really different?
Yeah, this, Lady from Ipanema.
Okay.
We're gonna do Lady from Ipanema.
Oh, yeah.
This is a little song here that,
The Roy Acuff version?
Roy Acuff did, it's gonna, it's called, I think, Lady Eating String Beans or something.
Something like that.
Here we go. Here we go.
Tall and tan, young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking in. When she passes each cry, she passes, goes on. When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gently that when she passes each guy, she passes, goes on. Oh, but I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly. Oh, but each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Tall and tan, young and lovely, girl from Ipanema goes walking in. When she passes, I smile, but she doesn't see. Young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking. When she passes, I smile. Oh, she doesn't see. She doesn't see me. She doesn't see. Right, your version of that. Billy Robinson.
All right. You know, a lot of people remember Hank Williams so much, and I think he was one of the few guys that, as far as the country singers, that's going to be remembered for many, many years. And I had the pleasure and the opportunity. I never worked for Hank, but I worked with him. I worked in New Orleans with him on a show, and of course I worked with him the first night that he played on the Grand Ole Opry, that he got all the encores. And I went to Germany with him in 1949, and that was the first time that the Grand Ole Opry had went overseas. And we flew over there in General Eisenhower's plane when he was a general. And back then they didn't have jets like they have now, but this plane was really fitted out nice, because the general, he lived a good life, I'll tell you, because that plane was something else. We had Roy Acuff on the show. We had little Jimmy Dickens on the show. We had, of course, Red Foley on the show, and I was the only steel player on the show. And it was some great memories of that particular time. You know, some of the things that we had, we played in Berlin, and in Berlin, and right after the war years, it was split up. It had the French sector, and it had the American sector, and had the British sector, but you didn't want to get into I'll tell you what, the Russian sector, they gave us orders, special orders, and I don't know if you've seen Russian writings, but it looked like the typewriters broke. At any rate, they give Hank Williams his orders, and he said, you know, those Russians could never win a war. Those son of a guns don't even know how to spell. But anyway, he was a good guy, and had a lot of good stories about him. So good times with Hank. He became a good friend of mine, and Don Helms came after I worked with him. I was on the staff. That's the reason I was working with him. I didn't work for him, but I did work with him. Don Helms came and worked with him. And of course, Jerry Rivers played the fiddle. Jerry Rivers was we had a kids band when we were just like 13 and 14 years old, and Jerry Rivers was our fiddle player in our kids band. And I've got a lot of photographs of that called the Eagle Rangers. And some of the things that happened in Germany, little Jimmy Dickens, we were out under a street light after playing a show, and Dickens was upset because one of his band members in a former band had been hurt in the war. I'm talking about the war with Germany. And we were out there, and back then everybody smoked cigarettes, and we were smoking a cigarette, and I think Jimmy had a few libations. And we all smoking some cigarettes out there, and Jimmy started picking up some rocks. And he threw these rocks at this street light. And I said, man, you're going to try to get even with the Germans by knocking out that street light, I guess. And he kept throwing rocks at that street light. And a German policeman rode up on a bicycle, and he was saying, I guess verboten, I don't know what that means in German, but he was trying to get him to stop throwing rocks. Jimmy Riddle was out there with us. There were 3 people out there. There was Jimmy Dickens, Jimmy Riddle, and me. And so the policeman went over and started talking to Jimmy Riddle. And when he was over talking to Jimmy Riddle, Jimmy Dickens got on the bicycle, the German policeman's bicycle, and rode off into the night. Now, I'd never been in jail before, but I thought my first trip was going to be in Burley. Anyway, so he came back in a few minutes after riding around, and the German policeman, he was just really furious, and so he come back, and he was just raising Cain, and I thought, well, he's going to take us to jail and call us, and Jimmy Riddle had some candy bars in his pocket, and he reached down those candy bars and handed those candy bars to this policeman. And the policeman got them, and he put them in his pocket, and he smiled, and got on his bicycle and rode off. And Jimmy Dickens looked at me, he said, I'm sure glad that guy had a sweet tooth. True story. Let's see, what we're going to do next. Let's see. I think this is going to be my last tune. I think is this 6 o'clock? Is it time yet?
As long as they'll have you, Billy.
Huh?
As long as they'll have you.
Can we keep going?
You just keep on and going.
All right.
Nobody else fag into play.
What do you want to do? Let's do the Jersey bounce, all right? Okay, you remember the Jersey bounce, all right? The key of G, all right? I'm not. There's so many stories I could tell, you know, but some of them I can't tell, Bob.
Why don't you
Some
record?
some are secret. Some of them secret. And my wife's right out there. So.
Oh,
You need to record all those stories.
Well, I've got some of them recorded, but I don't have them all recorded. What's that? Jimmy Dickens.
We could.
Yes, I am.
Take me as I.
I'd like to do I think this is Jimmy Dickens. Did that take me as I'm letting go? I'd like to do that for you now. It's a beautiful tune, and I love that tune that he did, and I'd like to do that for you now. It's in C. Erwin, I didn't get a chance. I'd like to do, this is an old a jazz tune, I guess you call it, called Caravan. I didn't get a chance to do that in the show. I overrun my time, so I'd like to do that for you now, Caravan. Last song. Oh, here we go. What year did he die? What year?
New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
1952, December the 31st. He was 29 years old.
When did you find out about it? That same day or?
No, I wasn't working with him then.
So thanks everyone for coming out and supporting our show, and we'll see you down the road. Thanks, Billy and the band.
Never forget the day.